to my channel Learn with Nikhil. So in our previous lecture we have studied about the different degrees of freedom of a system. In this lecture we are going to study about the classification of robots and the workspace of a robot. So let's begin. Classification of robots. Robots are classified into various categories. The first category we will study the robots which are based on the types of task performed. So first, point-to-point robots. So this is the example of a point-to-point robot. Here you can see this is the end effector or a gripper. So as you know, at the end of the robot you have an end effector. Manipulator is nothing but the robot, and at the end it has an end effector which is a gripper, and this is gripped. So this is a tool. This tool can be anything. It can be a welding machine, it can be a drill, it can be anything. So this can change as per our need. So here I have taken an example. This is a point-to-point robot. So here the coordinates are given: position 1, position 2, position 3. So this is a drill which has to drill. So this is point to point. This drill gets drilled here 1, then it moves to the second position, it drills here, it moves to the third position. So this is the plate which has to be drilled, and this is the end effector which comes under the category point to point robots. And the example for the point to point robot is Unimate 2000 and T3 robot. Next is the continuous path robot. So this is the example of a continuous path robot. This is again the end effector. The robot is gripped to this. So this can be anything. So this is the end effector. So this is the plate, and this moves and cuts along a path. So this path can be given by the robot. The instructions has to be given to the robot, and through that it performs the task. So as we want, we have to give the commands and it will move accordingly and it will cut the plane. So this is in 3-dimensional. The example of this is Puma robot, CRS robot. Next classification is based on the type of controllers. So this is the very important type. First is non-servo controlled robots. So this is the open loop control system. It is a type of an open loop system. As you can see, you have the input and you have the output. The functions are provided from the input. It is given to the controller. The controller takes necessary action and does the task. The load does the task and we get the output. So this is a type of a non-servo controlled robot where you have the input and it is in one line. Input, the functions are given, controller does the work, gives the function to the output, and we get the necessary task done. So this is a fast system as you don't have any feedback loop provided here. It is a one-way directional and it works accordingly. Example of this is Seco PN100 robot, and as the function I mentioned, it is less accurate, it is less expensive, but it is a fast because it doesn't involve any feedback loop. Next type is servo controlled robot. So this is the intelligent type of robot, servo controlled robot, because in this we get the feedback loop. As you can see, you have a feedback loop from the output system. So whatever errors are there in the system, it is given as the feedback back to the system. System does the necessary calculations and gives back to the controller. So whatever necessary corrections are to be made, if there is an error, it gives feedback to the input system and it works accordingly. So this is how the intelligent robot is said to be. So here you have servo controlled robot. It is a closed loop system. So it is a closed loop system as it gives the feedback. Example of this is you animate 2000 Puma T3. They are more accurate because it gives the feedback, and whatever errors are there it rectifies, and it works in a loop system, and it is also much expensive. So you have servo controlled and non-servo controlled robots. Next is based on the coordinate system of the robot. So you have different coordinate systems of the robot. First is Cartesian coordinate robot. So as you can see, this is a Cartesian coordinate robot. It has a base which is fixed, and it has 3 positions. Here you can see you have X direction, you have Y direction, and you have Z direction. So this Cartesian kind of robot moves like this in X direction, it moves like this in Y direction, it moves up and down in Z direction. So 3 directions it can move. And as you can see, all the directions are linear type of joints. There is no rotary joint, it is linear type of joint. So as we have studied earlier, linear types of joints are of 2 types, that is sliding and prismatic. So here there can be sliding joint or prismatic joint. So Cartesian coordinate robot, linear movement along the 3 different axes. So you have linear movement along the 3 axes. Second point, it is having either sliding or prismatic joint, that is SSS, means sliding, 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 or PPP, which is prismatic, prismatic, and prismatic. So this is the linear type of robot. It is rigid and accurate. It is suitable for pick and place type of operations. So it is best used for pick and place, as it can move and it can do it accurately. Examples are IBM RS1 Sigma robot. So these are the types of robot which comes under the category coordinate system, and under that Cartesian coordinate robot. Next, you have cylindrical coordinate robots. In this cylindrical coordinate robot, you can see this joint, again the base is fixed. This is a twisting type of joint, it rotates, twisting type of joint. Then this moves up and down. This is again a linear type of joint. So here it can be sliding or prismatic, and lastly here again it moves back and forth. So again a linear type of joint, it can be prismatic or sliding. So here you can see point number 1, it has 2 linear and 1 rotary movement. So it has 1 rotary and 2 linear movement, and this rotary movement is a twisting type of joint, represented as TPP, twisting. T means twisting, P means prismatic, this is also prismatic, or T means twisting or sliding, sliding. Then it is used to handle parts or objects in the manufacturing. So it is used to handle objects, cannot reach the objects lying on the floor. So as it can't bend, as you can see, the topmost 2 parts it cannot bend, so it can't reach to the objects lying on the floor, as it moves just up and down, it doesn't bend. Poor dynamic performance, and example are Versatrin 600 is a type of a robot. Next type of robot is a spherical coordinate or polar coordinate robot. So here you can see again it has a twisting joint. Here you can see compared to the previous one, this can move up and down. So here you have a rotary joint, and this is a sliding or a linear type of joint which goes back and forth. So this type of robot compared to the previous one, this can bend down. The previous one, it had a linear joint here also, so it was just moving back and forth. Here you have a rotary joint, so it can move up and down. So this is better than the previous one. Compared to, you have to pick up some things from the bottom, or you have to place it on the top. So it has one linear and two rotary movements. So this is one linear, this is one rotary, this is one rotary. Represented as TRP, that is twisting, rotary, prismatic, or twisting, rotary, sliding. Suitable for handling parts, objects in manufacturing, can pick up objects lying on the floor. Poor dynamic performance. Examples: Unimate 2000B is the type of a robot. Moving towards next, you have revolute coordinate or articulate coordinate robot. So this is a good type of robot. Here you can see, here you have a twisting joint, here you have a rotary joint, and here also you have a rotary joint. So rotary movement about 3 independent axes. So you have rotary movements at all these joints. These 3 are the rotary type, represented as TRR. This is T means twisting, R means rotary, here also R means rotary. Suitable for handling parts, components in manufacturing system. Rigid and accuracy may not be good enough. So rigidity and accuracy may not be good enough. Example T3 and Puma. Next classification of robots based on the mobility levels. Mobility is nothing but the movement of the robot. So till now we have studied the robots with fixed base, also known as manipulators. So till now whatever robots we have seen, we have all seen with fixed base which are attached to the ground. So examples of the manipulators or the fixed based robots are, it is classified into serial and it is classified into parallel. So serial type of robot is an example of Puma CRS, and parallel type is of Stewart platform. If you remember in our previous lecture at the end, numerical problem 3, we have seen a table type of thing that was a Stewart platform. So it is a type of a parallel manipulator, and the first sum was a type of a serial manipulator. It was a straight line robot. Next, on the based on mobility levels, you have mobile robots. Mobile robot means the robot which can move. Now moving of the robots can be subdivided into 3 types. One which are wheeled robots, which has wheels. One are tracked robots, and one are multi-legged robots which has legs. So these are the types of wheeled robot, type of the 6-legged robot, so which has legs. So these are based on mobile robots. Next, we'll study about the workspace of a robot. Now what is the workspace of a robot? The arm extension, the robot has arms. So the extension or the maximum possible space which covers by the robot is nothing but the workspace. I'll explain this in much detail with the help of VLab. So let's move on. So this is the official website of Virtual Lab, that is also called as VLab. So in that I have moved towards the robotics section, where I have taken an example of Puma 560. So this is a type of a robot. Now I'll explain its workspace. First I'll explain the robot. As you can see, the Puma robot, it has the series of joints which are the twisting and the rotary joint. So if I move this is a type of a twisting joint, as you should understand how it works. Next joint, this is the rotary type of joint. It moves like this. This is the shoulder joint and it is a rotary type of joint. Next is the elbow joint, which is again a rotary type of joint. Then wrist roll, it is a type of a twisting joint. Next, wrist bend, it is a type of a rotary joint. And finally wrist swivel, it is again a type of a twisting joint. Now what is a workspace? Workspace is nothing but the maximum space it will take when its arms stretch and how its reach will be. The workspace is nothing but the reach of a robot. Now to calculate the workspace of this Puma robot, here you have the option that is workspace. If I click on this below, I'll get the whole structure. So this is the maximum position where the robot arm will reach. So this is the workspace in the 3D space which is shown for this robot.